for Pitts. Intercepted by Ray Hubble, who may go all the way again. He's going to be cut off near the sideline. He was tripped by a man standing in front of the Winnipeg bench.
First down, Edmonton with the football. McManus going up top for Eddie Brown. What a catch! Eddie Brown! Touchdown, Edmonton! Penalty markers down all over the field.
Illegal substitution, too many men on the field, Saskatchewan.
From 33 yards out to win the 97th Grey Cup. Ball down, ball through.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Football A podcast. It's your boys, Hop and Ant, and we got to get right down to business. There's a lot of stuff going on. We're in the middle of the season. So, yeah, I can't stall any longer. First things first, biggest news, Nathan Rourke at BC Lions practice today. The chosen one. I don't know we got to come up with something good for Rourke. That's how it feels like CFL fans treat him, as the chosen one. He is back home in BC. BC took one week of Jake Dolegala and Rourke getting released by the Atlanta Falcons of the NFL and said, please, we beg of you. I assume that's how that conversation went. And yeah, exactly. And I said to a buddy, the analogy I made, and I'd like your opinion. Imagine like Patrick Mahomes on the Chiefs, maybe like the third NFL Super Bowl favorite preseason, right? Kind of the guy you expect to win the MVP. Goes down midway through the season, and then they rode with the backup for 1 week and then grabbed, like, I don't know, CJ Stroud off the market. Like, it really, I don't know. That's kind of the vibe I got.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible for BC. It kind of sucks for everybody else. But it's pretty incredible for BC. I guess the question would be, who do you roll with when they're both back? I don't know. That's really getting down to it, I guess, and that's assuming that he plays well in the next few weeks while VA is still out. But I don't know. Using the Patrick Mahomes analogy, you'd go back to VA without a question. As an Ohio State guy, you go back to VA without question. I don't know. Yeah, Rourke being so much younger, I don't know what the move is in 5 or 6 weeks whenever VA gets back.
Exactly, and it sounded like I would love. This is a great spot. We heard from Snack Bites Pete. He lives again. Great little convo this weekend with him. So I'd like to hear more about like the cap situation. It seems like it's kind of like hockey, in the fact like you can go and then your money doesn't count against the cap if you're on like the 6 game and stuff like that. I don't really understand how any of that works.
Does anybody circumvent the cap like the Vegas Golden Knights do in this league? I'd like to know. Anybody go on long-term IL before the season starts, and as soon as the playoffs go, they're like, all right, he's actually fine.
Yeah, it was crazy. Just 1 week, and it just started feeling all better. They said that they're not going to trade VA too impactful. So yeah, it sounds like the money could end up being a problem, but it's gonna be interesting for sure. I didn't realize Rourke was a second round pick in 2020. So the fact that this is like the second coming of Jesus is awfully interesting reaction from the CFL fans. I mean, they love him. Obviously, he's a Canadian born player. He played in the group of 5 in college, was a very good player, and has obviously been journeyman, kind of trying to make an NFL roster these last few years. But for you guys to love him so much, why was he in the second round?
Well, I think, I guess I don't know if they were expecting that. I think I was reading something, and I saw that he broke the record for the most passing yards by a Canadian ever, and then did it again the next week, and then did it again another time. And like his first year, he only played like 10 games, and he had like 3,700 yards or something crazy like that. Just ridiculous. And then he came back and led them to the East Final or the West Final. And then he won most outstanding Canadian. I don't know. I get it. I get the infatuation. I just, again, it makes such a. I mean, they're all professionals, but it makes a weird dynamic in that room in 5 weeks when it's like, who do you go with?
Yeah, do you do like a half and half? Because that
No,
seems
you
like,
got two
I don't know.
quarterbacks, you got
If
none.
yes,
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was gonna
yeah,
say. That's exactly right, Ant. Well, you mentioned the West final a couple years ago. I want to talk about the standings a little bit. In the West, Saskatchewan 5-3-1, 11 points. BC 5-4 with 10 points. Calgary squanders away a good chance. They lose this week. Absolutely get hammered. 4-5 now, 8 points. All three of those teams are at home this week. Interestingly enough, Montreal, we have the second iteration of the Football A Bowl
Mhm.
heading to Saskatchewan. Ottawa heads to Calgary. They're 5-2-1, and then Toronto's 5-4. They also have 10 points, I believe. Ottawa with 11. So first, can we get? Is this a crossover situation? I don't. You know better than I.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's possible. I don't know. There's still so many weeks left. It's kind of hard to nail it down. We're still just about halfway.
All
Like
right.
what'd you say? Ottawa's 5-2-1, so that's
Yeah,
8. They're not even halfway. Toronto's right at halfway, so it's close. I mean, a lot of time left. I guess it's possible. I wouldn't say it's likely though, as of now,
all right.
but I'd like to see it.
I can get behind that. Yeah, I would like to see it as well. This first year, first full season for us has been great. Um, Other notes in the West, if I said this team leads the West in both points for and points allowed, who would you say?
Probably Saskatchewan.
Wrong. Edmonton scored the most points in the
Wow,
West while also allowing the most.
wow.
Uh, yeah, very interesting
Scoring the
there.
most is crazy.
Winnipeg,
Stink.
obviously stinks and has the had obviously the shutout 2 weeks ago now. They have a +2 point differential.
Mm, congrats to them, I guess. They still stink. Fuck them. I don't know if I can say that, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't care.
yeah.
I just wanted to see your reaction. Last note I had there, Ottawa and Winnipeg both have under 200 points for and 200 points allowed. So,
Wow.
interesting little note there to see obviously Ottawa on the better side of that versus Winnipeg being not so much. The command center's a problem. We got to figure this shit out, boys. I know the referees are like paid volunteers. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but like they can't even. Then the refereeing the last 2 weeks has been tough. You're gonna
Yeah.
get this. Like this isn't a full-time job for them, at least from what I've read. So we got to figure that out a little bit. I would
Yep.
love to have one of these guys on at some point because I know one of them is like in the Canadian Air Force, I believe.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, he'd be
Yeah.
he'd be a good interview for sure. A little talk about geopolitical. We can get geopolitical with him. That's for damn sure.
Absolutely. I'd love to see what he thinks. He'd probably hate us, but
Yeah, for
uh
sure. But it's fine.
that's that. I think everybody, I don't think we have to do too much on the reffing lately because it's been a hot button issue, and I think just about everybody feels the same way on it. I did want to go down this road with you. I know that was only a few minutes. So I want this to take up most of our day.
Most. Okay.
Well, at least a good chunk of content here. The question, Ant, that I'm posing to you,
Yep.
will the most outstanding defensive player also win most outstanding player?
Wow. If there was ever a year for it, I would say yeah. I'd have to. When's the last time that happened? Do you know off the dome?
I don't have it off the dome. I have it in my handy dandy notebook here. That was Solomon Ali. Oh, I'm gonna try so hard. I
Love it.
apologize. Yeah, I
Love
I was
this.
really confident before I practiced it too. Solomon Elimimian
I love
is
it.
what I'm gonna go with.
Surely
Was
that's
the
exactly
last
right.
Yeah, it has to be. It must be. He was the last defensive player to win the Most Outstanding Player award. That year, he set the CFL record for tackles in a season with 143. That was 54 more than the guy in second place.
Wow.
He had 5 sacks, an interception, and 3 fumble recoveries as well. And the reason I bring this up is because we kind of did the thing with Milligan, obviously leading the league in interceptions. Had another one, by the way, so he's up to 6 now. And we kind of talked about Ty Bev and
What
that kind of
what year, do
stuff.
you have the year that he won both?
That was 2014, so 10 years ago.
Okay. A lot closer than the last time I had in the NFL. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I don't know why I didn't say that. Maybe it's a cycle. Maybe it's a sign. So I did want to bring up a couple of the cases because I think Milligan, his teammate Jameer Thurman, and then Ty Bev are all interesting cases. And to see where people's I don't know if loyalty lies is the right word, but where their preferences and stats lie. So Roland Milligan, 56 tackles this year. That's good enough for third in the league. 6 interceptions. Obviously, the leads now by 2. Another pick last week was standing right there. It was just the guy's an absolute ball hawk. So those are his main. Didn't have much other things. His buddy, teammate Jameer Thurman. I assume they're friends. What if they hate each other? That would be. Could you imagine? They would.
Yeah.
The lot of them would not come on the podcast had I assumed.
Fair.
Thurman, 38 tackles, 2 for loss. Okay, 2 for loss, a pick, a touchdown, obviously, forced fumble, and 3 fumble recoveries. So he's got a long list of extras in there, including the touchdown. Obviously, like 18 less tackles. And then my buddy Ty Bev, a Football A podcast alum. He has 57 tackles, which is good enough for second in the league. 4 tackles for loss, which is technically like tied for third, I believe. That's tied for second. He has 3 sacks, which is 2 behind the leader. Technically would be like tied for third, but there's like 15 guys that have 3 or more sacks. So he also has an interception. He's forced 4 fumbles this year, and has also recovered a fumble. I know you're a loyal man. You're one who is not afraid to shy away from bias. But what do you think? I mean, like all 3 of those guys, I think you could make a legitimate case for. Thurman maybe, but the 3 fumble recoveries for Thurman. I mean, that's.
I hate fumble recoveries as a stat. This is not to take everything to the NFL, but the big NFL argument is TJ Watt, Myles Garrett. Steelers fans frequently use fumble recoveries as a TJ Watt stat because Myles Garrett he just forces them. He doesn't pick them up. I think it's the dumbest stat ever. It does not make the play by picking them up. The ball bounced right. Like usually there's some scenarios where it's different. Usually you just happen to be in a spot where the ball bounces to and you land on it. Like it's not like these guys are making crazy plays to recover the ball. I hate that stat. I think it's the dumbest stat ever. It's worse than using tackles as a metric to grade defensive linemen, which is also very stupid. Or again, Steelers fans, you're stupid. Interceptions as a metric to judge edge rushers is a dumb statistic. They're all dumb. This is not fumble recovery is not a real stat. I think the argument's between respect, but I think it's between Milligan and Ty Bev.
All right.
I mean, certainly I'm biased here. I think it's Milligan. I think it's Milligan.
He has been a ball hawk, obviously. I mean, like he's been everywhere. I mean, this doesn't even include like pass breakups, which I had a hard time finding. It's not just readily available, unless I'm a complete idiot, and can't read, which is certainly not off the table.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Which is certainly not off the table. So, yeah, I'm obviously going to take my guy Ty Bev, but I thought that was interesting.
One thing is, I think it's probably important that it's most outstanding and not most valuable, because certainly Montreal, again, best defense in the league. If you're saying best player on the best defense, that's something that would get reverence if it's most valuable, but just most outstanding. You can have a guy like Milligan and, to be frank, a shitty pass defense, and still be up for an award like that. So I think it's important to note that.
It'd be funny if like Roland Milligan is just like a secondary merchant because the rest of his secondary is so porous that he's just a ball hawk.
That's fine. They just if teams are smart, just throw the other way. Just find him and throw to somebody else. Doesn't matter who he's on, throw to somebody else. Teams used to do that with Darrelle Revis. They can do it again. Not to compare Roland Milligan to Darrelle Revis, but we're here.
Hey, both were green and white. Both were locked down.
That's true.
They could be related. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Solomon. He's also, I believe, the head of the CFLPA, which is interesting. But so good for that guy. That you go set a record, go in. I think he's the only one. If I looked, I think there's like a returner maybe, or like wide receiver / returner that won it. But yeah, otherwise I believe he's the only defensive player to go ahead and win both. Most outstanding defensive and outstanding in general.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure this is the year, but if there ever was, it's probably this year. No quarterbacks have played the whole year, except for crappy ones. I'm sorry. Respect to Jake Mayer and Bo Levi Mitchell, but I said what I said.
Hey, he said what he said, and he is now. I believe the kids call this standing on business. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not positive.
That's what I hear. I am in fact doing that.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah, let's get into last week a little bit, I suppose. Jake Mayer against Toronto. If I said I'm gonna lay it down.
Are we skipping over Saskatchewan and Ottawa?
That was first, wasn't it?
Yeah. Lock in. Fake fans, some are saying. Not me, but some. People are starting to murmur.
That's my bad. I would love, and this is actually, that's exactly why I wrote down the command center thing. I would like to give you the crown and say go off, King, about this football game.
Okay. This was possibly the worst case scenario. Well, worst case scenario would have been like a 1-point loss. But we talked about it last week. I picked Ottawa, and this was the only pick we had different in our little pick'em thing last week. The only one we had different is I picked Ottawa. I said worst case scenario, Saskatchewan covers, Ottawa wins. This might be as bad. This hurts. This physically hurts. The only thing I'll say that makes this better than a loss is we're first in the division now. If we lost, we'd still be tied with BC, but we're technically not tied with BC, so suck it. We're first. Yeah, I mean, ties suck. I really hate ties. I understand why they do them and they don't want games to run forever, but I really hate them. I think they're dumb and un-American, which maybe is the point because this is Canada, but it's fine. I did want to note Shea Patterson, 3 picks. So hopefully Trevor Harris is back next week. I didn't note anything else about Shea Patterson except 3 picks. Really sucks that we kicked a field goal with 47 seconds and still up and tie the game. I wish we didn't do that. It would be pretty nice if we had that win. Whole game in the pocket rather than a half, but I mean, I suppose I'll take the half. And we're on to next week. Ottawa still stinks. They're lost without Drew Brown, although Dustin Crum
that might be
good.
True.
I like Dustin Crum, so that's fine.
Well, they have named Jeremiah Masoli as the starter. Yeah, so Masoli's going to be the starter. Pimpleton is out. Didn't seem like they had too much on the injury report. I was trying to go through it before this, but yeah, it was it was like, I would say for you, it was definitely the worst case scenario because like they obviously like Ottawa dominated the entire game, and then you guys went up 13-10, and you're like, this is great, and then you had a chance to win it in overtime, and so to just go dead even. Like you could probably live with like, hey, bad game. Shea Patterson's our quarterback. Like blocked 2 field goals, like just an insane. And like you didn't have which is actually maybe even worse. Like obviously, um, Drew Brown goes down, but like no Schaefer Baker. Thor was out. Um, who was out?
Jamarcus
Maybe.
Hardrick's still out.
Oh, he's still out, and then there was somebody else on defense. I think it was like Avery, maybe one of
Yep,
the
yep,
linebackers.
yep.
I think was out. So that like obviously, and still no Harris. Like probably should have killed him, but then to end in the tie. I mean, I'm not complaining. I had a 4-0 sweep of the board, and it started with this
You did.
tie. Now the other half of this would be that I have Saskatchewan's win total. I need them to win 3 more games the rest of the year. Um,
I think they'll get there.
hopefully. I mean, they have Toronto, um, obviously the Banjo Bowl, and then they
Win.
go back to back with Winnipeg
2 more free wins.
at Calgary.
Win.
Ottawa comes to you guys.
Win.
Edmonton.
Win.
BC comes to Saskatchewan mid-October.
I don't feel great about that one.
Credit to you. Credit to you there. For holding off on that one. Then Calgary again, and that's
Win.
that's the final year. So I should be
Yeah,
confident.
I see 2 more
to
losses the rest of the way. What are we? 5-3-1?
Yes.
9 games, so 7 left, so 5-2 coming down the pipe. 2 wins against Winnipeg, 2 against Calgary and Ottawa. I see no slip ups there. I think that's a perfect schedule. I would love what is that? I'm bad at math. 10-5-1 Saskatchewan Roughriders. I think that wins the division. I think that wins the division.
10-5-1 is 16 games.
What am I losing? We're 5-3-1.
7-2. Wouldn't it have been 7-2? Because you got 9 left.
What games am I missing? 2 Winnipeg, 2 Calgary, Ottawa.
Hold on. So obviously Montreal this week.
Lost to Montreal, lost to BC.
Okay, so then you win at Toronto.
Okay, yeah, that's one I missed.
You beat Winnipeg both times allegedly.
Easy.
At Calgary.
Yeah, 2 against Calgary.
Ottawa again. At Edmonton. And then
Edmonton's the other
BC.
one I missed. Okay, so 2 Winnipeg, 2 Calgary, Ottawa, Edmonton, Toronto, all 3 wins. That's basically, we can do that in our sleep. And then Montreal and BC are probably gonna beat our teeth in. It's fine.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm very nervous about this week.
12-5-1 Calgary or Saskatchewan coming out of the fight.
All right, I can get behind that. As long as I win that bet, that's fine. Obviously, Thor has been out for like 3 weeks now, so that bet is not looking great. Fajardo might have enough time to come back. Sounds like last week he was available on the injury report per the injury report. This week it says he's available. The injury report's now final, but I think Davis is going to start again, which I'm not mad about. I mean, I love to see our kings succeed, but sometimes the dollars. But I still have the Montreal ticket, which now I feel very nervous about with the BC quarterback situation. We can talk about that another time. Yeah, I'm just gonna read these stat lines to you from Friday night. Jake Meyer, 33 of 45, 373, a touchdown and an interception. Arbuckle, 18 of 26, 181, also a touchdown and a pick. Who do you think won this game? I mean, I know you know.
I mean,
but,
I know what happened. Yeah, I mean, Toronto played like crap. They had the pick return and they had the punt return. I think it was in the opposite order. I think they had the punt return, then then the pick return. But I mean, it was ugly. Toronto looked like bad for most of them. Arbuckle Toronto looked worse than Arbuckle looked worse than Dukes and certainly worse than Chad Kelly. I did not think he was good. Well,
that's fair. That's fair. I thought you meant just in general. That's my apologies.
Yeah, no. Arbuckle specifically looked bad. Kadeem Carey played pretty good. But yeah, I mean, both of these teams. I think I said last week they're essentially the same team. They're both just like the middle of the road. Like, if you were to rank everybody in the league, they're the two middle teams. But yeah, I mean, does it really matter? Not really, but good for them. Good for them. It was a weird game. Weird game.
It was a very weird game, obviously. Turnover, some stuff with the command center. Kadeem Carey, please respond to my DM. 13 carries for 89 yards and a score, 6.8 yards on average there. So yeah, that'd be cool. Janarian Grant, we did the where's our takes at, and you specifically mentioned only James Letcher's allowed to return for touchdowns, and
I
then
did.
directly in your face, just absolute house call. He is so good. I saw some people saying that like he's the best returner in CFL history, but then they put up the graphic and Gizmo Williams has like 30 and Janarian Grant has 12. It's like, I mean, I didn't see, I'm not like an MJ guy because of era. I'm a LeBron guy. So like, I'm more than willing to side with the present day player, but like Gizmo Williams had 30. I mean, I didn't watch him play, but like,
it's got to be close to then argue eras. It's got to be close.
Yeah, I have no clue, but was Gizmo Williams returning against Canadian plumbers?
Yeah, Canadian plumbers. Yep.
Which are obviously significantly worse than American plumbers, I would assume.
Yeah, well, American plumbers are 7 foot tall white guys in the NBA. Canadian plumbers are punt teams in the CFL.
That's you know what? I think that tracks absolutely. Oh man. Saturday, Montreal, my boys, Davis, our guy, gets it done again. 33-23. Hamilton never stood a chance. Bo Levi goes 3 for 3 to start the game, throws a pick directly like Sankey right to him, and then gets benched, which Taylor Powell, by the way, then went on to shred Montreal. 30 of 38, 319, 2 scores, 5 carries for 52 yards on the ground. So that was a little alarming, but
he looked good. But some are saying Bo Levi's a system quarterback, at least at this age. Some are saying, I don't know, but Taylor Powell looks really good. So credit to him for that, keeping them not close, but not the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm still kind of confused. Is it the line score technically? Like when you look at the box score, the score by quarter, 15 in the first quarter for Montreal, 4-0, then 14. So very funny, just very funny in that way. For Montreal, obviously played well. Charleston Rambo, I mean, like. Is he? Yeah, I don't know if he's got like pine tar on his hands or what, but like, you're gonna confirm
he does. Suspend the whole team. They're cheating. They should be banned from the playoffs. Saskatchewan should automatically walk to the Grey Cup. Thank you.
All right, we can get the league on the horn, if you will, and ask them.
I'll call them up.
Yeah, Randy Ambrosi, please take a look at these guys. 6 for 124, 2 touchdowns was insane. Great cover as well. But whatever. Sankey had a pick and your favorite fumble recovery. This team is so good. I just don't want to break my heart. I'd love to go back to back. I'd love to be on it. I'd love to be able to celebrate a second Grey Cup, although this would be my first since I didn't declare my fanhood until like week 4.
I would viscerally hate you if you won the Grey Cup this year. Like you and me I would drive to where you live and we would fight. We would actually have fisticuffs.
Wow, we would have fisticuffs. We would be drawn to blows.
We would have an absolute slobber knocker, if you will. Absolutely not. You're not allowed. The only team that I would root for you guys against in the Grey Cup would, in fact, be the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, which if they get to the Grey Cup, I will no longer be here, so it won't matter to me.
I'll have a new co-host by that point.
Take that how you will. Dad quit the show. Did not say that. Meant something entirely different. It's fine.
Ant would pull a Cleveland Guardians announcer. He wants to kill himself.
How about that's so funny? By the way, we need a CFL announcer to say that guy gives up a touchdown. Oh yeah, that guy he just wants to unalive himself. He's live.
Imagine
so good.
Oh man, yeah, it doesn't get better than that. Sunday night, BC second week in a row. Jake Dolegala had to step in. Shout out to my guy Chase Bryce. Doesn't really
App
get
State.
better. App State, exactly. 4 for 4, 41 yards. Threw an absolute dime into the middle of the field. Probably could have gotten his guy killed, but whatever. Edmonton, 2 in a row. Trey Ford obviously goes down, so that really sucks. He was 6 of 6 for 96 yards when that happened. MBT, 14 of 18, 171, a touchdown. Did throw a pick.
Wasn't 14 of 28? Did I read it wrong?
This says 18.
Okay, maybe my app had it wrong. Fine, it's fine.
It would be very CFL to have them change those numbers, I guess.
No,
I don't know.
Probably just my American app doesn't know numbers. We're dumb over here.
We don't really know how it works.
We don't get
Leak 21, 97 yards and a score.
Yeah, he was good.
He's maybe at least the last 2 weeks probably been the best player in the league. I don't know. I feel fairly comfortable saying that. After absolutely shredding Saskatchewan
thanks.
2 weeks ago.
Thanks for that.
No problem, buddy. I also did want to do one more shout out. Jake Julian, the Edmonton punter. The reason being is they had that roughing call. They ended up going and scoring, but he just insane leg. He's had like a couple 70-yard bomb punts, and then that one that he got roughed on went out of the back of the end zone for a single. So I don't know. Obviously, it's not like somebody got a hand on it or anything like that. It's blocking a punt's a little bit different than the percent chance of missing of in a NBA game or a basketball game with your closeout, but still follow through, guy bearing down on you to kick that thing through the fucking end zone. Pretty crazy. So I wanted to give him a shout out. Also, please answer my DM from the end of last year. That'd be cool, but that can be neither here nor there. You want to talk about this week? Because this should be fun.
Let's talk about it. I got all the lines up and ready to rock here. So we don't gotta,
wow.
We don't gotta have bad radio.
Do we have standings update?
Yeah, you're up by 2 now. You're up by 1 going into last week. You went 4-0. I went 3-1. Yeah, again, I'm not sure it's possible, but we're gonna keep doing it for the fans. We're gonna keep doing it for the fans, even though it's pretty much out of reach now. We're gonna keep going.
I'd like to find out my magic number. See.
A lot, a whole lot, a big number.
Let's see here. Magic number, MLB calculator. Oh, okay. Let's do the magic
10.
number calculator.
We just finished 10, or did we just finish 11? We just finished 10.
Yes.
I feel
How many
confident
games
with that.
per season? I don't know.
So games per season, 84. That can't be right. 4 per week times 21 weeks. Yeah, that's right.
But some weeks have 3. Is this the thing? It's just bad radio, but is this where you do 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 3?
That's factorial. No.
Okay.
No, why would you do that? Why?
I guess I can't believe I suggested it now that you bring it up.
Do you know what number 9 factorial is? Certainly not that many. Go ahead. Do 9 times 8 times 7 times 6.
9 times 8 times 7 alone is 504. So
no,
probably not.
Not even close. Not even close. Well, let's just assume baseline 4 games a week, 21 weeks, 84 games.
But that we know this to be false.
But we know it's close. We know it's close. Yes
Fine.
or no?
All right. Fine. Close. Do you have my record by wins and losses?
Yep. Make up a number. You're up by 2.
Well, then I can't figure out my magic number.
You can. Here, well, let's do the math. So through 10 weeks, that's 40 games. So you're 22 and 18.
Okay.
20 and 20.
Okay. Hey, look at you.
Magic number.
18. Okay, hold on. This is great radio, and I don't know, sing the national anthem or something.
I had a debate. This is not the Canadian national anthem. We were playing trivia the other day, and the answer was Francis Scott Key. And this Francis Scott Key, for you Canadians, wrote the American national anthem. And the person at my table, who's, by the way, in her 30s, said she's never heard of Francis Scott Key. And I got irrationally upset. Like, that's literally impossible. So my 2 questions of the week for Snack Bites, Pete, and anybody else: who wrote the Canadian national anthem? And then, does everybody know who it is? Or is this another Americans are dumb thing? Does everybody do all Canadians know who wrote the national anthem, or are we just stupid?
Could be the case. I do have the magic number.
Thank you.
If this is an 84 game season, my magic number would be 43.
Okay.
So, it's still time, I guess.
44 games left. Your magic number is 43. We're cooking. Go ahead.
If you look up magic number calculator and scroll down to like the, I don't know, 4th or 5th link, you'll find your ideal IRA balance, which I'd love to try out sometime.
Love that.
Yeah. Ooh, what's your marital status? Just kidding.
The ideal Irish Republican Army amount.
All right. What a silly show this has become. Yeah, had to, right? Yeah, let's
talk about Ireland versus England now instead of U.S. Canada.
Let's do Protestants and Catholics.
I'm ready.
Really...
I'm ready. I'm locked in. Alternatively,
Sunday, bloody Sunday. Sorry.
About Ottawa, Calgary. Alternatively, if you'd rather do that.
Yeah, probably. Nobody wants to hear me sing U2, I don't think.
Well, I mean, some people do. Some people. I'm sure your semi-pro baseball team would love that, but it's all right.
Oh, no, they would. I would be. There would be blood in the streets, similar to
Bloody Sunday,
the 1980. Yeah. All right, yeah. Let's focus on Ottawa and Calgary on Thursday, tomorrow night. I have -3.5 for Calgary. Is that what you show?
Yes, that is also the number that I have.
I placed 2 bets, one on each already this week on the Thursday night game and the Friday night game. I have Calgary -3.5. I just don't think, like, Masoli, I'm sure he's plenty capable. Maybe, I don't know what the stats look like, but it's been a while. It's been a while. Sorry, that's probably too niche of a song to be singing.
It's not. Everybody knows that song, but
okay.
You just love songs today.
I don't know. I'm in a singy mood. I'm far too tired to be doing this, but here we are. No Pimpleton, no Drew Brown. Who was the backup? Crum. He went down. I think he got hurt, or was he just bad? Maybe both. Yeah. Either way, Masoli. So between that, Pimpleton has given that offense a lot these last couple weeks since he came onto the scene. So him being out worries me a little bit. Calgary, on the other hand, a lot of guys on the injury report are available. And I just think Calgary at home. Yeah, them at home, no Drew Brown for Ottawa. Yeah. I think they're due to drop one here by 4 points or more potentially.
Fair. I really liked Jeremiah Masoli, I have a fond memory of him from college. When I think back to Jeremiah Masoli's Oregon days, I thought he was phenomenal. His last game at Oregon was the Rose Bowl against Ohio State, which he lost, 2009. But I looked up his numbers today because I was like, oh, Jeremiah Masoli, blast from the past. Let me look him up because I think his last game at Oregon was against Ohio State. He was not that good at Oregon. His numbers are not very good, especially considering who came after him, Marcus Mariota, and the guy before him was Dennis Dixon. He was not very good. No offense to Jeremiah Masoli. Obviously, you're an incredible quarterback. You've started a really nice career. I thought he was better. Maybe that's bad memory for me, and it's kind of unfair to put that on him. But I'll be taking Calgary here.
Credit
Calgary
to you.
-3.5.
A bigger man would never.
This is true. No, not many men are bigger than me. Some are saying.
Hey, you're on the path to. Did you say no? Were you about to say no?
Well, I'm not. I was going to say not many men are bigger than me, and that's not a reference to my character.
That's fair. Nor how. Never mind. I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, nor that.
There's another obvious joke. Yeah.
Nor
It looks like he hasn't played. Let's see stats. Can we find a game log? It says he played 2 games this year. Looks like
game log.
Looks like 20. So last year, looks like he went 6 for 10 at some point with an interception with Ottawa. Here we go. Game log. 2024.
Great radio.
No. This is awesome. It won't.
Phenomenal radio right
CFL,
after the whole
CFL
magic
website.
number thing.
Yeah, but that was kind of entertaining, I think. Let us sound off in the comments below. Yeah, anyways, I'm going
Calgary. We're both on Calgary.
That magic number drops.
Magic number's now 42, baby.
Yes.
43 games left now.
I did already place a wager on the Saskatchewan Roughriders to win on Friday.
This is going to be a classic reverse jinx off from us. I can't wait for this game. I am giddy with excitement for the reverse jinx off that's coming in because Montreal is going to slam Saskatchewan into the ground and then bury us 6 feet deep. They're gonna smoke us. We might not score. If I haven't read any reports here, but if Shea is for some reason starting again, we will not score. I feel confident that we will not score with Shea Patterson at quarterback against that Montreal defense.
Despite scoring in a previous matchup?
No, but semantics here. Pure semantics.
So, when it comes to Saskatchewan, Ajo out, CJ Avery out, Jacob Brammer out, Trevor Harris is available, Thor is also available, Jameer Thurman is available, but he's got an elbow situation, so it should be interesting there. When it comes to Montreal, it's kind of a battle of who's healthy. I mean, for the most part, Montreal is. Davis didn't practice Tuesday. Yeah, it sounded like there was personal reasons, so obviously hoping it's all the best over there. Philpott is out, but your boy, Ant, I don't know how much you got to see. Your boy Austin Mack got released also by Atlanta. Does Atlanta hate
just hoarding
Canadians?
CFL? Well, they were hoarding them. Brought them on
Yeah.
the training camp and was like, actually, never mind.
Yeah, so maybe they're just showing a disgusting lack of regard for our guys. So it'd be great if you could get in touch with Austin, your former Ohio State.
Touchy subject there.
Oh no! Did he leave you on red?
He did.
Wait, actually?
Yeah. It's fine. We don't care.
Oh, no.
I support Austin Mack regardless. Ohio State legend caught a great pass against Michigan in 2018. It was 2017. JT went down. Dwayne Haskins came in through a nice pass. Awesome, Matt. Great catch. It's fine. We're here. I hope he doesn't sign with Montreal because I've already stated my opinion on Montreal and what will happen if they win. So let's hope he signs somewhere else.
Well, I believe we have him under contract until like next year. So
semantics.
Yeah, you'll find a way. Fajardo, like I said, technically Wednesday was listed as a full participant, so we'll see. Would be interesting too, because I totally forgot about this aspect until they brought it up on like Sunday night when they were looking at this week. Quarterbacks flip-flop. Fajardo was a Rough Rider, I believe, and then Trevor Harris was the quarterback for Montreal not all that long ago. So that aspect is a fun little, I don't know, whatever, factoid as well. So I did take Saskatchewan. I just think they have more weapons available, Trevor Harris being the biggest of them.
I think the only way we win is if Trevor Harris plays, but Fajardo does not. No offense to Davis Alexander, but Fajardo was our pick for most outstanding player before he went down. So if Fajardo is back, I don't think we win. And I've already stated my Shea Patterson opinions thrice over times 10.
Times 10. What's larger, my magic number or the times you've hated Shea Patterson?
42 now. 42. Actually, we're on the opposite sides here. I could make it up. Bring that magic number back up.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. It's back to even. Yeah, no, I like you said. I mean, they made it sound like Cody would be back not this week but next, anyways. So at least on the broadcast. So off of that assumption, no Tyson Philpott for Davis. Like I know Rambo's obviously sick, but just not as deep as what I think Saskatchewan's receiving core is. So, like you said, no shade to Davis, but that's where I land on that one. By the way, too, not to always be steaming ahead in the show and then bring us back. I think it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, I talked about how like all the games were, I think it was last week, all games were like 6 or 6:30 for Central Time starts. Well, Thursday and Friday are 8 o'clock starts each, so that really sucks. It's really one way to take the wind out of my sails, but then 6 o'clock for the 2 weekend games, which is great.
There you
go. Edmonton at Hamilton. I haven't seen anything about Trey Ford and his availability.
I saw something 2 hours ago.
Okay. Enlighten me, please.
So it was a Edmonton reporter. They said Trey Ford was out at practice, but not really taking reps. MBT was taking the reps with Javon Leake and the starters. So
what is this line at right now?
Trey Ford, it's Edmonton minus 2.5.
Interesting. That's all I have.
Obviously, coming off 2 weeks ago, Hamilton won at Edmonton.
No.
What? Did you say no?
Yeah, is that wrong?
I feel pretty confident that happened.
I do love you very much. You're near and dear to my heart, but you forgetting that 2 weeks ago Edmonton beat the shit out of Saskatchewan in Mosaic is very
okay. Well, then 3 weeks ago, hey,
3 weeks ago, Hamilton did beat Edmonton.
I want to say something that'll get us demonetized and kicked off of YouTube if you say that one more time.
We're already not monetized.
I will permanently demonetize us. I will get you and me canceled. I'll lose my job over what I'll say if you say that one more time.
Credit to you. Yes, Hamilton did beat Edmonton. That was 3 weeks ago.
And that was the game that MBT got benched in.
Yeah.
And that's when the Trey Ford stuff started, yeah.
Yeah, and they haven't lost since he's been in. I did take a note of this that they put up on the broadcast. Record in the last 30 Edmonton games: Taylor Cornelius 0-10, MBT 0-7, Jarrett Dagey, right? Is that how you're supposed to pronounce it?
Oh, Jarrett Dagey. Yeah. Maybe we should give him some run here. If Trey Ford can't go, Jarrett Dagey in the game. Look, we all know MBT is not the guy. Old man Bethel Thompson. That's what everybody's calling him. Old man BT. I think Jared
That was
Dagey
clean.
needs some run. I think Jared Dagey needs some run.
He's 0-1 for Trey Ford. He was 5-7. Obviously, technically, if you were to go to 31 starts, he would be 6-7 now as a starter for Edmonton in that stretch. But obviously, we've got to give MBT probably the nod there. So,
So
should be
nobody has
interesting.
won in 30 games except Trey Ford. That's what you're telling me. Edmonton stinks, bro. They might be worse than Winnipeg. Oh my gosh, that's an awful franchise.
I think Hamilton beat the snot out of them. We're not sure of Trey Ford's status. And so that really hurts because I think Hamilton wins this game. So if I had a concrete solution to to Trey's status, that would really help in my decision. I don't know if you feel one way or another.
I don't. I do not feel one way or the other. I am pretty. You know what I'm going to take? First time ever. First time all year. I'm going to take over under. So this will be the magic number will be coming down because I will not hit this. I promise you that. I will not. Whatever I pick, the opposite will happen. So in the interest of fun for the league, I'll be taking the under in this game.
Wow.
Let's have some fun. Let's go over. Yeah, we'll take the under 52.5 so that the league can have fun and get an over 52.5.
Now you're really putting me in a rock and a hard place situation because how good is Taylor Powell? Trey MBT wasn't that bad. This is tough. I'm gonna have to make a decision at one of these times. I see Jamal Peters is full. I don't know. Bordner, he's good to go. You know what? This is really tough. Fuck it. I'm rolling with the Cats.
Boo!
I'm going to take Hamilton. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pray that MBT starts. I'm going to take Hamilton to win the ball game outright.
Wow. Okay. Slightly more respect. Not a ton. But the baseline was 0, but some respect there for you. So
thank you. I appreciate that. You are so kind.
Of course.
All right, I got to put that in. All right, I'm locked in Hamilton on the money line. And you know what? I'm not even going to ask for the points. I'm just going to take them on the money line because that's how obvious my feelings towards them
are. That's
a
man's pick.
Thank you. Sunday. So Rourke with some extra time this week. Sounded like he's starting. So that should be interesting, basically.
That's what they're saying,
man. They are 2 point. I'm seeing 2 points at home.
1.5, but yeah.
All right, works for me. Good enough. Winnipeg travels out there to BC. If you'll remember 2 weeks ago at Princess Auto, BC got absolutely blanked. 0 was on the report card. I have to say, last week, our boy Aiden, not really targeted, which really sucks. But I did see a report from practice today that Nathan Rourke was like riding a bike. He was shooting it around. So hopefully we get our first Aiden Eberhardt major, and I think BC is going to win the ball game and cover. They got This is a very football fan response, but I think there's no way they're going to blank you again, right?
That's probably true. Yeah, so I will, unsurprisingly, be hoping we have another U2 Sunday, Bloody Sunday here. BC hopefully smashes those bums from Winnipeg, those dirtbags. Yeah, Blair, Nate. I'll tell you what gives me slight pause. I'm not changing my pick because I hate Winnipeg.
Credit to you.
A lot of people have been hyping up Rourke. It feels like a prime letdown spot. There's a lot of talk here, and they're expecting this guy to come off of an NFL camp, which is nuts. and then in less than a week be ready to play a team that's been to 4 straight Grey Cups. Like this is not exactly an easy situation for him to be in. So it feels like a prime letdown spot where they're going to hype this up, and then Winnipeg's going to win, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh, Winnipeg's back. See, they try to get into their groove." Winnipeg, no, shut up. They stink. Nathan Rourke Rourke. Is it Nathan? Am I crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got it in my head. Who's Curtis Rourke?
Curtis, my good friend, who I've interviewed on my college football podcast. Is it Saturday?
Okay.
Is his brother.
Okay. I was getting him because you had mentioned that interview the other day. Yeah. Okay, we're back. Nathan Rourke is gonna have a big game, and BC smashes those bums.
Our degree of separation from a Nathan Rourke interview is very minimal. However, one thing that I know, one thing I know about Curtis is that he likes to turn off the social media and that kind of stuff for the season, and I won't hear from him until January if I were to ask. So
it's all right. All right.
What's nothing better than an off-season Nathan Rourke interview that I'm not gonna promise you. So
I will promise you. I will directly promise you on Hop's word that we will have Nathan Rourke interview in the offseason. Lock it in. Honor.
Not a bigger
if
man.
It doesn't happen. Hoppo's every listener $5,000. We don't have a Nathan Rourke interview in the
It's legally binding. I can't do anything
legally
about it.
Binding. As a future lawyer, that is legally binding.
Good thing you're also my accountant, so I'll have money, I'm sure, to pay those bills.
You won't.
No. Oh boy. Well, this has been the Football 8 podcast. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. This is going to be a fun one to edit and then release to you in the morning. So we will speak to you next week. Hey, follow us on social media. Comment on our stuff. Let's have a little dialogue. We're nice and friendly.
Sub to our OnlyFans. That's a podcast OnlyFans, not our individual OnlyFans. We'll put on record. Just some spicy.
But you could also
from the pod.
That also.
Yeah, there's some spicy clips from the pod where you'll hear the unedited version of which quarterback we want that to do. The Manning call. No, still can't hear me.
Oh, there. Now I got you. Something
there you
about
go.
Manning. Yeah,
I was gonna say on our podcast OnlyFans, you'll hear the unedited version of what quarterback we should have the Manning call with.
This has been the Football 8 podcast. We will see everybody next week.
See you guys.